Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden digital battlefield, a world of computer zombies and the massive invisible armies they form called botnets. Let's dive right in. Think about this for a second. It's a pretty chilling thought, right? That at this very moment, your laptop, your phone, maybe even your smart TV could be taking orders from a complete stranger. And no, this isn't science fiction. It's a very real threat. So what we're talking about here is a secret zombie army. And look, these aren't creatures from some horror movie. They're our own compromised devices, and they've become one of the most powerful tools in a modern hacker's arsenal. To really get a handle on this threat, we first have to define the key players in this hidden world. So let's meet the monsters. Okay, first step, we have the zombie. In the world of cybersecurity, a zombie is basically any device connected to the internet that's been infected with some nasty malware. The way to think about it is, your computer is still technically alive and works for you, but its brain, yeah, that now belongs to someone else. A hacker they call a bot herder. And what happens when a hacker gathers a whole bunch of these zombies? I mean, we're talking hundreds, thousands, sometimes even millions of them. Well, that's when you get a botnet. It's like a giant, invisible robot army, all just sitting there waiting for a single command. The crucial difference here, the thing you really gotta get, is scale. A single zombie is like one rogue soldier. You know, it can cause some trouble, sure. But a botnet? Whoa, that's the entire army. It's a unified force that can launch these massive, coordinated attacks. Which, of course, brings up a critical question. How does a perfectly healthy device get turned into a mindless soldier in the first place? Let's take a look at the origin story of an infection. It usually goes down in 3 stages. First, the infection. This could be as simple as you clicking a bad link in an email or maybe just putting off a software update. And just like that, the malware's in. Second, the connection. The malware quietly phones home to the hacker's command and control server, basically telling it, hey, I'm here and ready for orders. And finally, stage 3, the attack. The bot herder sends out one single command, and every zombie in the network executes it instantly. So now that the hacker has this giant digital army, what can they actually do with it? Let's look at the weapons they use to unleash the horde. Botnets are incredibly versatile. They can launch what's called a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack. That's where they flood a website with so much junk traffic that it just collapses. They can also send out billions of spam emails from all over the world, making them almost impossible to block. And get this, they can even secretly mine for cryptocurrency, using the combined processing power of all those zombie devices and your electricity to make money for themselves. And this really gets to the sheer power we're talking about. The largest botnets aren't just a few thousand machines. They can be made up of millions of devices all over the globe, acting in perfect unison. That's a truly staggering amount of coordinated power. Okay, so that's the threat. And yeah, it sounds pretty grim, I know. But here's the good news. You are not helpless in this. So let's pivot to your digital survival guide, because there are absolutely things you can do to fight back. I think this quote from our source material really frames the strategy perfectly. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being proactive, about your digital health. It's about keeping your device's immune system strong, so it answers to you and only you. First and foremost, update your software. The second you see that notification, do it. Those updates aren't just for new features. They often contain critical security patches that literally slam the door on the exact vulnerabilities these bot herders are trying to sneak through. This next one is huge. Hackers love default passwords. The famous Mirai botnet, for example, it grew into an absolute monster by just scanning the internet for devices like cameras and routers that were still using factory passwords like admin or password. So please, change them. You also need to just pay attention to your devices. There are some clear warning signs. If your computer suddenly starts getting really hot, or the fans are whirring for no reason, or your data usage just skyrockets, it could mean it's been co-opted and is working overtime for a botnet. And finally, use a good firewall. Think of it like a security guard for your network. Because even if a piece of malware manages to get inside your device, a strong firewall can often block its attempt to phone home to the hacker, effectively cutting it off before it can ever receive an order. The key takeaway from all of this is a simple but really powerful idea. Your technology, your electricity, your entire digital life should only ever work for you. And maintaining that control just comes down to good digital hygiene. And that leaves us with one final thought. In a world full of connected devices, they're always listening for a command.